But this is one of those things, even a couple of years ago when I was through here, and I knew the significance of this bridge then, I didn't stop. And so this year's road trip is really all about taking the time, is what we came to see. This is not what I was expecting to see in Albuquerque today.
Wake up with the sun in our eyes. Sally forth, no need for goodbyes. Journey calls, let's roll the dice. Every mile a new surprise.
Good morning, tribe. Not a whole lot of RVs left here now. It is 8:03 a.m. I slept in until after 7, and it's taken me this long to get my act together and get coffee made, which I've only had one sip of so far. We are at the Route 66 Casino outside of Albuquerque, New Mexico. And our very first stop today is going to be a quirky stop that I wanted to do yesterday, but it was pouring down rain, and I just, yesterday was tough. It was kind of hard to do anything in the rain. We did get to see some stuff, and in fact, one of the things that I wanted to see, which was the Budville Trading Company, and although I'd been there before, I was looking forward to going back.
Turn right onto Central Avenue Southwest, South Frontage Road.
And the rain cleared enough there that we were able to get out and walk around, so that was nice. So this casino also has a full RV park that
100 feet at the traffic signal. Take the second exit onto Central Avenue Southwest, Rio Puerco.
that may or may not be very nice, depending on who you ask when. But you know me, I don't like to pay to park. All I want to do is sleep, so if I can find a decent enough parking lot to do that in for one night, that's what I'll do. This is the Route 66 balloon. That's what I was looking at. I couldn't figure out what I was looking at last night. It lights up in different colors. It's kind of cool looking in the middle of the traffic circle here.
Exit the traffic circle onto Central Avenue Southwest.
Okay.
In a quarter mile at the traffic circle, take the first exit on the North Frontage Road Northwest.
So this, we're going to the Rio Puerco Bridge, which is part of the original alignment of Route 66, and it's right on the other side of the freeway here. So I wanted to do it yesterday because the next thing after that is going to be getting to Planet Fitness, which I wanted to do as early as possible today. This is not, it's as early as it's going to happen. It's not as early as I was hoping for, but oh well. Navigate this traffic circle. Oh, that was easy.
Exit the traffic circle.
And there's our bridge.
Frontage Road Northwest. Then your destination will be on the right.
Okay, so we've got the time. And the temperature is 48 degrees outside. We're going to pull over right here. Google wants me to make a U-turn. I'm going to have to go down there to that gas station to do it, but that's okay. Rio Puerco. So that's Pig River translation. And we're going to go, I think we can walk on it. I think we can walk on it, kid. So that's what we're going to do, okay? Stop. And then we'll be back with you. This is part of the original alignment of Route 66. It's the Rio Puerco Bridge, and it's famous for a couple of things. Sorry, this is going to take a minute. This is the first time Kit's been out this morning. So we're going to let Kit do Kit things. Because, he's Kit. And I suppose I could have parked here last night, because there's no prohibition if I had wanted to. I could go back and get a sticker to put up, but I don't think I'm going to do that either. All right, so this is a Parker Through Truss Bridge, and it's located on the historic Route 66. It was built in 1933. So what did they do from 1926 to 1933, I wonder? Huh. It was fabricated by the Kansas City Structural Steel Company and erected by Leo Schuffelberger of Albuquerque. Its 250 foot length is one of the longest in New Mexico. Repairs and remodeling were completed in 1957. The structure was replaced in 1999 and is being preserved by the New Mexico State Highway and Transportation Department. So, just so you know, presumably this is structurally sound to walk on, or they would have barriers up. There are a number of different alignments of Route 66, including where we are now, which is outside of Albuquerque. There was a change from the original alignment, which I think is what we're going to follow. I finally decided. It's more mileage, but I think it'll be more interesting. And it used to run from Santa Rosa, New Mexico, which is east of us. It used to run out to, oh, look at that beautiful, get away from that, Kit, not you. Look at that beautiful prickly pear. And it is prickly looking, isn't it? But look at how healthy its new bright green growth is. Wow, beautiful. Oh, and there's a bunch more up here. So from Santa Rosa, it used to run north to Las Vegas, New Mexico, and then up northwest to Santa Fe, and then down southwest to Albuquerque. That was the original alignment. And then in 1937, that alignment was changed to run basically along the same route as I-40, very close. So it ran straight from Albuquerque through Moriarty and then out to Santa Rosa. And I think we're going to do the old route. I haven't been to Santa Fe or Las Vegas for several years, and there is some cool stuff to show you there, some of which has a Route 66 connotation that I had not realized previously. Hope you guys can hear me over all the traffic. There's a lot of traffic. And is there any water in the Rio Puerco? Doesn't really look like it. Looks like a dry riverbed to me. That's the bridge we drove over to get to where we parked. So now we'll head back the other way. But this is one of those things, even a couple of years ago when I was through here, and I knew the significance of this bridge then, I didn't stop. And so this year's road trip is really all about taking the time, learning from each experience, slowing down, and not driving by things that I want to stop at. So that's what we're doing on this trip. And it would have been easy enough to just do the drive-by, but that wasn't what I felt was the right thing to do this time. Next time it might be, the next thing. And there's some stuff that I want to see around Albuquerque, so we might end up spending a night in town, even though I kind of don't want to be in the big city. But I have to do adulting things today too. So our first next stop is going to be Planet Fitness. Come. And Then we got to go to Take 5 and get an oil change. And I don't have anything else listed after that. I'm going to figure that out while I'm making breakfast after Planet Fitness. I mean, I haven't put an itinerary together yet. I know some of the things I want to see, but I don't know what order they need to be happening in. So, we're going to get moving and see what we can see. So we're going to do about 9 miles of Old 66 this morning to get into ABQ. Yeah, I've got several quirky stops in mind, including, for those of you who are also Breaking Bad fans, the Methsium, which is all things Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. And I think we've got some giant sightings to do, and can't even remember what all else. So it's quite possible that we'll end up with another night here in Albuquerque area. But I'm also considering going to a campground for a couple of days. Or at least a day. I gotta look at the map, figure out all that stuff. But in the meantime, I'll settle in and enjoy the drive. Certainly enjoying the coffee. I pretty much only have 1 cup of coffee now because I have a 6-cup mocha pot coffee pot, which means it's basically making 6 espresso-sized cups. And because of the way that it makes it, it's pretty strong coffee. It's very espresso-like, and yeah, I essentially pour all of the coffee from the coffee pot into my cup, and then I fill the rest of my cup with the collagen, peptides, and water mixture to make a full cup, which is not much. I'm adding like another 1.5 ounces or 2 ounces maybe, which does not dilute the flavor all that much. So basically, take 6 cups of espresso first thing in the morning. Yepper. Which is why I'm pretty much only ever having 1 cup of coffee now. But I'm enjoying it. Look, we got traffic coming toward us on this road, not on I-40. Yeah, I think I know it's at least partially interstates to get up to Santa Fe and Las Vegas. But I'm going to see if I can avoid that and find the actual alignment roads. I want to take some time to reflect on what that travel would have been like. And in modern standards, because I did check this on Google Maps last night, if I did the 1937 later alignment along I-40 corridor, that's about 120 miles to get to Santa Rosa, and doing the pre-1937 alignment up into Santa Fe and Las Vegas is about an 80-mile detour. And when you think about that in 1930s terms, that's a pretty big detour. Because in the 30s, they weren't doing 55 miles an hour. Most of the roads still weren't paved. So you weren't covering the kind of distances that we cover today without even thinking about it. And I'm really interested in hearing your thoughts about this. Which way would you do it? If you were doing this, would you do the post-1937 alignment, which I gave a lot of serious thought to, because post-1937 gets you all of the, 40s, 50s, 60s stuff, and the pre-1937 alignment gets you the late 20s and 30s stuff, which I'm not sure how much of that there is still to be seen, but we're going to find out, because that's what I decided to do. It feels like a more full experience to me that way. haven't ever, I don't think I've ever done that route in that way, although, you know, I may look at it during breakfast. I don't think we did that a couple of years ago. My friend Donna and I traveled to New Mexico together, concentrating on all of the New Mexico state parks that we could hit as our primary places to stay, because we had bought New Mexico state park passes when they were still $225 for non-residents. Now they're $600 for non-residents. And at that time it made really good sense to us to spend the summer doing that. So that's what we did. And so I've been to Santa Fe, I've been to Las Vegas, but I don't think we did the corridor this way. I think we did other stuff. We did it in a different method, different routing. There's a round ball on top of that tower over there, which I think when I get up parallel to it is going to look like an eye. Nope, looks like a pool ball with a number 7 on it. There you go. And that looks like a graveyard for RVs, but I guess it's a storage lot. Alright, enough prattling. We'll pick you up a little bit later. It occurs to me that although we are in a season of travel now,
Turn left into the I-40 East Rim.
life does not stop, right? So because I've committed to going to the gym and using that to be able to take showers, when I don't know why it took me so long to figure that out, but it's a pretty brilliant choice for me. So I could say, oh, I'm on vacation. Well, I'm not really on vacation. I'm in a season of travel. Going on vacation would be going on like a 10-day cruise. That would be a vacation. But even so, chances are reasonably good at this point that I would probably get into the gym while I'm there, because I've rediscovered that I enjoy being in the gym and rebuilding my strength. And for me, this is not so much about building. Hang on. About building muscle, although that happens coincidentally, as it is about deliberately building bone, because I think I mentioned this before. I had a DEXA scan back in Yuma a couple of weeks ago, and although my spine is okay, my hips are at a pretty high risk for fracture. So I got a high risk for hip fracture, a high risk for heart attack. So much for being 10 feet tall and bulletproof, huh? So I'm learning how to navigate the heart issues emotionally now, because that just seems like it could, could have my life. There's that. But I don't want to let that possibility rule my life. I want to live the life I've been living. So, those are some of the thoughts. Maverick's 401 as well. So that seems to be the price in ABQ. And I'll probably fuel up before I leave ABQ. I don't know, we'll see. I may check the prices in Santa Fe. But what I discovered in Yuma was that fuel was cheaper in Quartzsite than it was in Yuma all season long. But my point is, even though it's a season of travel, and basically, I mean, what that means this year is that I'm traveling alone. Well, not really alone, because you guys are all coming with me. And I appreciate that. Thanks for coming along for the ride. But I don't stop living my life, right? Repairs have to get made when they need to be made. Oil has to be changed. I'm going to try to only change oil when it needs to be done this year. Last year, I don't know how I miscalculated my mileage, but Barb and I did oil changes. No, I did an oil change in July, I think in Colorado someplace. And then I ended up doing another one in August, which was like 2,500 miles sooner than I needed to. So now I'm about 500 miles later than I prefer. So the maintenance manual says 7,500 miles for oil changes on this rig, but I consider what I do to be heavy duty use because I spend so much time off road. So I try to do it no more than 5,000 miles, even though I'm using full synthetic oil. And I'm at about 5,500 right now, so it's fine. But it's time. And since I'm in a big city and there are Take 5 oil change stations available, and I really like what they do. I mean, they seem to do a good job, and they're not terribly expensive. So I figured it made sense to do that while I had the opportunity, and then I don't have to think about it probably until I get back out west at the end of the season. I think I'm going to do about 5,000 more miles this summer. We'll see. We'll see. Welcome to Albuquerque. We are finally leaving the Planet Fitness parking lot at 20 minutes of 12. Woohoo! And you may notice a costume change. Did a workout, got a shower. Google has us wiggling our way out of this parking lot so we can come out at a traffic light, which is not going to be the easiest thing in the world for me to do. I'm going to wiggle. Oops. Hey dude, I can't see you, okay? You would think that people would understand a little more clearly what RVs can and can't do. And I probably took the way more difficult moving down here. Let's see. No, these turns I think are actually easier to make. Don't think I can go that way. So did the workout, took a shower, did the hydro massage table. That's always fun. Came out and made breakfast, did all the dishes, and then we sat down to figure out what on earth we're doing today. And what we're doing is we're going to drive through Albuquerque and try and get out of here before the traffic gets bad. That's the first thing. I have added the Methsium, which is, you know, Breaking Bad, to the things that I want to try and do today, which is of course going to be dependent on whether or not I can find parking, but it also gives us the opportunity to drive more of Route 66. We're not coming out at a traffic light. Henry thinks we're up to 63 degrees. I have no idea how accurate that is. It was definitely still in the 50s when I came out after my shower. So what we're going to end up doing, we're going to drive over. We're going to do the oil change first because I really need to get that done. And I thought we were going to be resupplying here, but there is a Sam's Club and a Sprouts in Santa Fe. And so we're going to resupply tomorrow because I already have dinner sorted for tonight. Then I'll have my container washed, which means I'll have more room in the refrigerator. I do need to get water sometime soon. I can do that tomorrow. I think it'll be fine. So once we get the oil change done, we're going to drive across Albuquerque to see if we can get into the Methsium. And if we can, we will. And if we can't, then we're going to come back across Central Avenue, which is old Route 66. And hopefully see some of the old hotels, some of the neon, stuff like that. And then instead of continuing on Route 66 directly up to Santa Fe, we're going to do something that I've never even considered doing. Dude, watch where you're going. Wait, he was drifting over into my lane. We almost had a mirror clash there, because both of us have mirrors sticking out pretty far. I'm going to do the Turquoise Trail I don't know if we'll be making many stops, but I think the scenery will be beautiful. And it's something that I had never considered doing. And looking at the Route 66 alignment, which is kind of along the I-25 corridor, we'd only get about 10 miles of the actual Route 66 alignment. So I think doing the Turquoise Trail up into Santa Fe, and then we'll pick up Route 66 stuff in Santa Fe tomorrow, will be much more interesting. We'll see if I'm right. Alright, so now we got to find the Take 5. Just almost a mile down the road here. So this is one of the challenges, guys. It's not just simply, oh, it's a Take 5, that'll be fine. You know, you gotta check the parking. You gotta check the drive-through. Am I going to be able to get in? Am I going to be able to get out? Because I could get into that other one, but getting out would have been pretty tough. And I'm a good backer, but backing around 2 curves to get out of a very tight parking lot just didn't really seem like it was in my best interest today. Especially when I've got an alternative. There are actually 3 different Take 5s in Albuquerque. We just finished with the oil change. We did a coolant exchange. I didn't get out of here quite fast enough. We did a air filter change. And I'm going to show you a picture of what my air filter looked like after 15,000 miles. It wasn't horrible, but it wasn't great. So getting out of here could be a little bit exciting. There's an awful lot of traffic. But at first, I think it's the owner of this franchise said, oh no, we can't back anybody out. It's against the rules. And every time I go, they back me out. I've never done anything else. So he finally relented. And since he relented, and I'm not too far from needing to have done a coolant exchange anyway, I went ahead and did it. And the reason for changing the air filter frequently is your engine breathes better, obviously. And it's only been about 15,000 miles since I did it the last time. But it was dirty looking. Not filthy, but dirty looking. And so why not change it? It's like $28. So it's a cheap way to be able to improve my fuel economy. Next up, we're heading for the Breaking Bad Methsium to see whether or not it's going to be possible for me to park there. And then we're going to come back out along Central and get on the Turquoise Trail.
In half a mile, turn left onto South Plaza Street Northwest.
Here's the Hotel Albuquerque off to the left here. Doesn't look all that interesting, other than the sign up at the top. Yeah, the old town's kind of cool looking, but there's absolutely no parking. We've got about 2 blocks to the Methsium.
Turn left onto South Plaza Street Northwest. Then your destination will be on the left.
Well, I'm not going to park on South Plaza
Your
Street.
destination is on the left.
It's okay, kid. Oh, there's RV parking over there to our right. Well, I'm going to end up going way around the block, I think. Well, let's see if we can figure it out. Well, we are kind of in Old Town. Hang on, I'm going to see if I can cross the road here safely. Might be able to. Maybe not. There's what the kidster's doing. He's sniffing. I think we're going to go down to the traffic light just to be safe. I keep saying that, but then I think, well, I should be able to do this. Go around, kid. Did you guys see the homeless person we just walked past? I didn't let Kit sniff or pee on him. So there's that. So we'll get a few extra steps in this way. We're parked here in this Walgreens parking lot. I don't imagine I'll get towed. Oh, I forgot to bring my phone with me. I need to get my phone because I didn't bring a wallet either, and if I want to buy a sticker or something, I'll need to do that. So, hold that thought. Oh, look at the wagon. That's cool. And I think my decision to go to Santa Fe today is a good one. I do. All right, hold that thought. Let me grab my phone, and I'll be back with you when we get across the street. How about that? And here is what we came to see. The Breaking Bad store. But let's check out the architecture. Los Pollos Hermanos. Taste the family. All right, this is cool. It is a fan experience. I do want to walk down the street though too while we're here. Look, there's Walter.
Hello.
Howdy. You okay if I film?
Of course.
Awesome. So here's the Heisenberg Methsium. Well, it's a good thing you're under 10, kid. You'll get in for free. We're in the gift shop portion of the Methsium. Yeah. All the things. All the things, guys. Dogs welcome, people tolerated. Better Call Saul. And philosophy, I think. Therefore I scam. Yeah. Oh, how about Baking Bad? All right, cool. I like the license plates. Too bad I can't actually collect things, huh? But I think we should take a look in the Methsium. What do you think? Hey, kid, where are we? Where are we? We are here for Breaking Bad. All right, let us see what we can see.
Hi, this is Steven Bauer, and I play Don Eladio.
All right, we may want to sit down in Saul's office.
I need to welcome all of you to the high school.
There's the Better Call Saul bench. So, as I understand it, a lot of the stuff here is from the TV show. It's actual memorabilia, not just reconditioned stuff. Castor and Pollux, the chair. Oh, there's Mike. All right. There's Chuck's gravesite. Wow. Let's go to Los Pollos Hermanos.
I played Howard Hamlin on Better Call Saul. And welcome to the Breaking Bad story. You have found the right section. Look for anything that has M. Indigo Blue on it or HHM. Pick it up and take it home. Oh, wait. You better purchase it first. We don't want anybody going to jail. But if you find yourself in jail, you know who to call.
Saul. Better Call Saul. All right. Pretty cool, don't you think? $5 for the museum. I did it. If you're a fan, I think it's definitely worth checking out. I am the one who knocks. Come on in. So a lot of really cool references. If you're not a fan of the show, then you're probably going to miss a lot of it. But if you are, definitely cool. Oh, Breaking Bad RV tours. Yeah, I don't think I need to see that. Come. But this is a pretty cool kind of old town street, like the architecture. Oh, look in here. Cool little courtyard here. Look at this little door. I mean, it's a closet, but I like it. All right. Kind of wish I'd gotten an $8 haircut. Old Barrel Tea Company. Mata by Cabana. No idea what that means. Looks like an expensive jewelry store. Look at the square across the street. Look at this church down here. All right. We'll walk around the square. Raven Blues Coffee House Cafe. Hey, this is cool. I didn't think we were going to get to see any of Old Town, per se. I guess I was wrong. We're not going to spend a whole lot of time here because I want to get out before rush hour. But I definitely wanted to check out some of the architecture. That kind of reminds me almost of New Orleans over there. Oh, gift shop and museum. $17.06. until today. San Felipe de Neri Church, gift shop and museum. Sister Blandina Convent. Oh, it is still a church. Very cool.
So the community that interested since 1706.
Yeah, so this church has been here since 1706. That's kind of amazing. It's quite the complex. Well, I'm quite enjoying the architecture. We're going to go walk through the square too. There's a big placard over there I want to check out. We're not going to walk up and down all these streets though, because I just want to get a flavor for it. And I will admit, I'm shocked I could find a place to park. Let's go check out the square. We got Cannon. La Placita something, dining rooms. And Old Town Cafe. In 1706, New Mexico Governor Francisco Cuero y Valdez founded the Via de Albuquerque, now spelled Albuquerque. Here the Camino Real wound its way through a series of farming and ranching communities to a nearby ford linking the road to settlements on the west bank of the Rio Grande. Albuquerque retains its original plan with streets radiating from a central plaza. The 1793 San Felipe de Neri Church and rectory remain from the Spanish colonial period, and most historic buildings around the plaza date from about 1870 to 1900. See other side. Albuquerque was the main commercial center for the Rio Grande Valley until the 1880 arrival of the railroad 1.5 miles east of the plaza. Growth and development centered on the railroad and new Albuquerque. Now known as Plaza Vieja, or Old Town, the plaza, plan of narrow streets, and historic buildings are representative of a traditional Hispanic city. All right, that's pretty spiff. So I guess let's go walk this way, and then we'll come back around and down the street to get back to Henry. I want to get a closer look at these cannon. What do you think? This is not what I was expecting to see in Albuquerque today. So, pretty pleased actually. Mountain howitzers. Cast in the foundry of Cyrus Alger and Company of Boston. Originally designed to be mule pack artillery. The model of 1835. Are you listening, Kit? You listening? Yeah? Are you paying attention? Okay, good. The model of 1835, 12-pounder mountain howitzer, was the smallest U.S. cannon of the period and could fire a 12-pound exploding shell to a distance of 1,000 yards. It was a light field piece of great mobility and intended for use in all kinds of rough terrain. In early April 1862, Civil War Confederate forces that had invaded New Mexico territory began their retreat back to Texas following defeat at Glorieta Pass. I've been there 2 weeks earlier, east of Santa Fe. Yeah, that's on the way to Pecos. 27 years later, Major Teal returned to Albuquerque to show local citizens where the cannon barrels were buried. Local residents made new carriages for the 2 remaining cannon barrels and displayed them on the plaza for many years. Because of the great value of the original barrels, replicas were later made and replaced those. Okay. That's cool. That's cool, huh, Kit? All right, let's go this way. Oh, it says parking down there. Huh. Let's go ahead and cross over here. right, so we're going to just walk back down through here. Reminds me a little bit of Los Algodones with the covered shopping alley areas. Okay, we're heading back. There's Henry down at the end of the street. And we're going to continue on our way and do part of Route 66. Well, that turned out to be way better than I expected. I enjoyed the Breaking Bad Methsium, and we were able to walk around Old Town, through the Old Town Plaza and everything,
Turn right onto Rio Grande
which I
Boulevard
really didn't
Northwest.
expect we were going to be
Then
able
to
to
the next
do.
light, you'll use the left 2 lanes to turn
So that
left.
was super cool. Now the problem, of course, is going to be getting back out on this busy road, but I'm sure I'll be able to figure that out. And then we're going to follow Route 66 out to the Turquoise Trail. How about that?
Wake up with the sun in our